Alex the Kid can suck my fucking dick.
Fucking hell. What? I missed something there.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, pretty much. Welcome to the Crazy Train, episode 30. I'm your host, Rob Wade. With me from left to right is Spike Direction.
Hit the dirt.
Call back. Omer Ibrahim.
I'm pretty sure Mario never had a ladder match.
And once again,
Fact.
yeah. And Blake Homer.
I'm your biggest train, I'll follow you until you're crazy, crazy, crazy train.
I'm a little bit worried about a train following me.
You should probably stop walking along the rails, wouldn't you?
I think tonight I'll just lay in bed and I'll just hear...
He's fucking there again.
Don't worry.
Getting up the stairs to the flat.
Don't worry, it's just a shock off.
Oh, that's fine then. That's fine. Oh, it's like the train, brilliant. That's all I need to hear.
I was just going up the stairs, you just hear... It's like, what the fuck's that? And there's a train just hiding behind them.
I see like the edge of a spout just like back around the corner.
Caboose.
Or even worse,
I think I can, I think I can, I think you're dead, I think you're dead.
even worse, it is a shock off driving a train.
Yeah, whereas the Crazy Train we've established makes the noise.
Crazy.
So-
Omer sometimes has sex.
Only makes that noise when it goes in a tunnel but doesn't want to.
Which is off the rails. I don't know. I've lost track of this metaphor.
Okay, we're playing now.
Metaphors.
Incredibly deep.
Yeah.
So Omer,
Yeah.
we could have touched on it last episode and we didn't. We went to the zoo.
Oh, I did. Well, kind of. What I did was...
How does one kind of go to the zoo?
Okay, I'll explain. So, we went to Chessington World of Adventures, but it was shut.
Right, so for context, you went to Chester World Adventures to go to the theme park as a whole, right?
No, we knew it would be shut.
So you went.
I like gates!
You drove to Chessington,
Yes.
knowing it would be shut.
Yes.
To then do what?
To go in the zoo.
But it's shut.
No.
Oh,
The park
Only
was
the-
shut.
Oh,
zoo.
right.
So, to go, basically, at this time of year, like in the sort of December to January time, Chessington World Adventures, the rides are shut. It's too wet, too cold. The roller coasters and that can't run. It's unsafe.
Okay.
However, because they've got the zoo is much bigger now than it used to be, those animals are obviously still there over Christmas. They still need to be fed, etc.
But that's they don't give them holidays.
No, they...
The hell?
No, the polar
Send it
bears...
back to Africa for Christmas.
Which is really weird for the sea lions. They come from California.
No, there must have been some. Dude, there must have been some mistake.
I don't understand a thing here, man. Why is that boat from Madagascar here too?
I feel sorry for the penguins.
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel sorry for them anyway.
There are penguins in Africa though, so there you go.
yeah.
They were shut.
They are so lost.
They're just like.
Basically what they do is you can get into Chessington really, really cheap in the winter. Because
you can't go to it.
Yeah, exactly. All you can do is walk around the zoo. So me and this
It's
is
fucked off peak. It's just off. The zoo's just off.
So we basically got a day in the park,
Yep.
a night in the hotel, and we ended up with an upgrade to a much nicer room opposite, and then breakfast the next day for a really, really cheap price.
Obviously,
and it was a nice, like, me and Charlotte got together on New Year's Eve, like a lot of people do,
Yeah.
but we went away, this was the first on to the second, and we were just like, so let's just take a day away.
Yeah, nice.
So we drove that way, and it was just a really nice little break, got to go around the zoo, so where it was, I was going to say it was really, really quiet, but actually there was so many kids there. Because imagine our kids aren't on school, let's take them away for the same
Yeah,
with
sure.
the rest. Same with the hotel. Sorry, it was packed.
Yeah.
The restaurant was packed, but it was fun.
I love
because
the
that
way-
place is built for children.
Yeah, I love the way incidentally that you said like I got an upgrade, obviously, as if you like, walked into the hotel, checked in, and they're just looking at you like a bit strange. You're just like, oh, me versus Jimmy Snooker. Oh, of course.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, fucking nobody.
No,
Is there any chance I can look
I
good
just
in front of
booked-
my girlfriend
I
by
just
getting an
booked-
upgrade?
I just
Yes,
booked like
yes,
the
there is.
cheapest. So you get like there was a price for like basically there was a price for rooms with a view of the car park and ones with a view of the animal reserve. So I was like,
Out of interest,
Car park,
I suspect I know the answer. Which one was more expensive?
depends. The car park enthusiast room was really expensive.
Yeah.
that goes up when they have the auto fare. Like.
Yeah.
It's autophilia, isn't it? It's called.
There's a podcast.
No.
Disclaimer.
I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to get. So to be clear, I know I wanted to say I put this in more ears, not the fucking FBI's.
I love the idea that the FBI just listens to podcasts that have got the word philia in them somewhere and go, what? Clearly touching chip kiddies.
They're just like. So let's just go through the filia. Let's just search for paedophile. I was not expecting that. That is just brazen.
Yeah, so no, I booked the sort of cheapest room with a view we could. Turned out to be ones with a double bed and a pair of bunk beds. It was a family room.
Okay.
When we got there was so full of kids and that, they'd obviously not expected that. So what they did was obviously give that to a family that needed it, and they put us in one of the kind of the executive suites on the sort of throw up, which was really, really nice. It was much nicer than any of the pictures on the website or anything like that, because they weren't really selling those this time of year.
It's a thing you can stay in as opposed to just something you can look
No, it was really, really nice. But yeah, like the day in the park, because the weather wasn't great, and me and Charlotte got this thing that's... Well, it just seems to happen that any time I can take off is the wrong season.
So you mean take off as in
yeah, as in fly. So no, we get to go to places just before that. Like last year, we went to Thorpe Park just as it opened. Okay. The longest queue was literally waiting for the train to come back.
Yeah.
So we've just always done this thing now where we.
You mean sorry again? Apologies for keeping to do this, but what you just meant is waiting for the train to come back, as opposed to waiting for the train to come back. Because you go to the station, you just fucked off.
I'm on the break.
It's early. And
I'm going to go get a hot dog.
Shit, sorry. My watch has stopped.
So we ended up going to the zoo when we went. Charlotte bought me a sponsorship for an animal at Chester Zoo, and we went there.
They wear your name on their kit.
Yeah, that's it.
Check your cycles on the shirt.
Do you know who this is? I'm an elephant.
I don't know.
But we went in October, and it was like pissing it with rain.
Yeah.
Like apparently it was like I can't remember how many acres the zoo is. But we went like 2.5 hours without seeing another human. It was that empty because the weather was so shit. But we paid. We're all the way here in Chester. Yeah, it's like a 4-hour coach trip.
Not being funny, when you go to a zoo, the humans are not what you pay to watch.
Exactly.
I can do that in fucking chatting.
We have great fun doing things.
I pay a lot there too. But
doing things at the wrong sort of time of the year.
Yeah.
But this place was actually packed. Yeah. Because all the kids are, it's New Year's, we'll take them out.
Also, the weather wasn't too bad around New Year's.
No, it spat a little bit on the way there, and then it wasn't really raining when we were there.
It was kind of mild during the day.
Yeah, sun came out for a couple of hours. It was enough to see the animals and that, and it was great.
Yeah.
But they still had the Christmas village up, so you could get like a.
Isn't that bad luck?
Yeah.
You're supposed to take the Christmas village down.
Sick.
They just got in under the wire.
Yeah. But they had. But no, it was cool because it wasn't
on paper. You're
basically it was just like they were just selling sweets and things. Yeah. So like we got a snowball, which was like a marshmallow fluff on top of a bit of wafer covered in white chocolate. And it was a quid, which was really cheap.
Like with coconut and stuff on the top, don't they, as well?
So that was really cheap for like a theme park. I thought a quid for a cake was pretty cheap. But yeah, there was that bit. So we got to watch the sea lions being fed, like they do the talk. Yeah. And I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
So the sea lion keepers again.
Yeah, not the sea lions.
Please clarify this. The sea lions are just like, so, I went to Africa over the weekend. That was weird.
I'm so fucking hot.
They split the crowd into...
Oh, goodness.
They split the crowd into three. And then as they're talking to you, like they'll be like, okay, can anybody tell me the difference between a sea lion, which they got there, and a seal? And like one kid was like, I've got bigger ears, whatever.
Seal tells the truth.
And they gave you... These ones don't go to Africa. They give you like a blue glove, and then when when 4 people in each group have got a blue glove, they hand you like a piece of fish, and you can throw it to then that'll be a bit of squid.
How big is this fish that they need 4 people to throw it? Until they've got 4.
It was actually a baby squid in the end.
Okay.
But like they said, because there's normally 4 questions very distinctly asked.
Right.
So we're on like section 3 or whatever, like the last one. We're leaning on the barrier, and I'm looking at there's kids around us, and I'm like, just let them. Like we're not going to answer.
It's like Brad with his sharks, like being surrounded by him and his girlfriend, him and his.
Yeah, me, I'll do it.
Yeah, me, I'll do it. And then there's like 3 8-year-old children just like, this is not meant for us, is it? And yet here we are.
One of the she said, can anybody name the 4? But she hadn't gone like, section 3 or whatever. She just went, can anybody name the 4 sea lions we've got in here? And Charlotte remembered that one of them, what she thought was that we were going to have to name them all. Right. And she remembered from reading the plaque that one of them's called Ariel, because her favourite Disney movie is The Little Mermaid, so it just stuck in her head. And she just went, Ariel? And they went, yeah, give her a glove. And she was like, and then she realised that she was going to get to feed the sea lion. And I was like, no, fuck these kids. She was like, oh. And like, going there was kind of my Christmas present to her, because I got some bits and bobs, I didn't really have a main.
Right. So
it was buying that for her was the kind of bit. And she was so excited at this bit of fish. And throwing it, and it's just one of those little things.
Do you starve her?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
But she had to throw it away, so it was really kind of cruel. Like.
Oh, so it's coarse fishing.
Got my fingers cleaned by a shrimp. That was quite fun.
Wow.
Right.
They're done.
You can go like there's this little rock pool with some
Oh,
little
I know
shrimp
the
in
kind.
it.
Yeah,
And they were like, I was like, oh, it was open. It was quite. I thought they were just going to. I went, oh, what's in here? Then thinking it's a little 30-second talk about the animal or something. And she went, you can feed them. I was like, oh, cool. Well, she goes, if you want to go and wash your hands, I was like, yeah, brilliant. So you go and get the antibacterial. And I went, okay, just slide your fingers in. And Charlotte's done it first. You can see she can feel them on nibbling on her fingers.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really good. Do you want to do it, sir? I was like, yeah, go on then. Why not? They come over here, and she's got like this shrimp, probably about the size of a pea. The one I've got is like a big fucking Lego brick with legs, like big enough that you can look it in the eyes. And I'm like, fuck me.
The analogy I've just thought of
Yeah,
there
it
is
just wants to stare at you as it's eating.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, what?
If you went to a massage parlour and they were just like, happy ending, madam? And she's just like, yeah, please. And then it's just like this really sort of dainty Japanese girl. How about you, sir? He goes, yes, my name's Jeff.
Hello, my name is Olaf.
Hello,
I massage your penis.
hello, I'm Brian.
I'm going in through your bum.
They call me Brian Roughneck.
They call me Brian Knobreaker.
My name's Olaf, and I like warm, happy endings.
I've heard you want a happy ending. Well, better flip over then. So do I.
I've been here a week. It's going to be a happy ending.
That way we're both happy.
Yeah, and then they use their little claws. Not the
nice
prostitutes. The shrimps. They use their, and then the prostitute used their little claws on my penis. This is why Chessington is shut through the winter. It's overrun with prostitutes.
Overrun with prostitute
Shrimps.
Yeah. Prostitutes. Shrimpstitutes.
And there's the title.
Prawnstitutes. There we go.
There you go. There's the title of the episode.
Yeah, and then it's back to the shrimp. It's quite funny. You watch them, like, they get their little claws and clean under your fingernail and eat it. It's just quite fun. But they do a really good job of cleaning under your nail. It's like, you know, when I can't explain it, like you've come out of the shower and then done the washing up and your hands are like white.
Yes.
That's exactly how my nails
are
are.
really white, so my
Yeah,
hands are always
yeah.
white.
That's
Well, obviously I work with like tools and I work with bikes, so my hands have always got a bit.
But you've done a
dirt
proper
on them.
day's work in your life, so
Yeah,
your hands are
exactly.
different to mine.
Yeah.
They die because all like all
Don't think of money
the
touching.
olive oil and that you've cleaned off by.
Yeah. I've had more of
On the
that.
plus side, your hands are much younger than the rest of your body as a result
Yeah.
of the olive oil, if you believe the adverts.
Yeah.
Which I do.
Yeah, so no, it was good. It was a good little trip. Just going to the zoo when it's closed is quite fun.
I actually
But all the animals are out. You know, it's quite nice and it was good. There was one animal because like a bunturing. It was called. It's an Asian cat bear, and they do like a like you get like some.
This isn't a real animal.
No, that's what I thought when I was
It's like
looking
a
at
li-
it.
it's like a
I
live-
was looking at this thing in the fucking eyes and I didn't believe it was real.
And it's just like, I know what you're thinking.
You know, right?
So
here's
I'm
an
also
example.
psychic.
So they've also got these. You know when you watch, the film Madagascar.
I think this cat bear's OP, if you ask me.
You know in the film Madagascar, they've got the Fusa, and it's an animal that it's like a dog thing, and it doesn't quite look real.
We can't catapult things with his voice as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Fusa!
But they've got one of these animals here, and when you actually look at a Fusa, you're like, that's weird. I can see why they picked that as the bad guy in a movie. It looks strange.
Like a liger.
Yeah, they just look weird.
Yeah.
And this is the same. Like they do like it. You get like bird of prey centres, and they'll do like, now we're going to fly the eagle or whatever. They were talking.
Just gets the remote out.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Too close to the power lines.
They were basically saying, we're going to bring out an animal now. And
They're
as
even wearing that.
we weren't stopping for the show. We were walking kind of behind the stage. And we just hear this woman like, come on then, let's do it. And I've looked down and she's got, I think it was a piece of fruit, like an apple or something. And there's this cat there.
Yeah.
It's about maybe 2 foot tall.
Okay.
Probably about 3 foot long, probably 4 with its tail.
Right.
It's got this long, shaggy coat. And I'm imagining anybody listening to this now is going to look up a bunturong or a bunturing, one or the other.
Okay.
It looks like somebody just splashed a few animals together and went, yeah, that'll do. That's
Like
somebody
one of those
supposed.
books where you mix up the
Yeah,
creatures.
it was like somebody was playing
All
sport.
the crap taxidermy.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it looked like somebody had like, really fucked up an aardvark or something like that. But it was the weirdest little
How
thing.
does one really fuck up an argument?
You make it look like a bunturong, really.
Oh, okay.
Well, I saw a weird thing in London Zoo like earlier this year, or last year actually. God, fuck me. But it was like
Oh, how the days pass.
no, yeah, the time's gone really fast. But it was the same. It was.
So it's just the fact you dismissed it. I just cuffed this point to the side. It's like, how are the days have passed? Yeah, time has gone fast. So
Yeah, time does now then.
shut up!
Yeah.
Blake's
Fuck
talking.
off, over. It's Blake's time to talk.
It's bad time to shut up.
But it was an animal that was. It It was in the same area like the Africa bit, so it was like the giraffe,
No,
the zebra.
It's a
But
sea lion.
it was a weird animal, but it looked like half zebra. It had like a zebra-y coat to it, but it was like quite a tall thing, like in the same family as a giraffe. I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Wait, it's a tiger, for fuck's
Something,
sake.
something like a kudu. There's a
Yeah, I'd never ever seen one before until then.
Oh,
one
I
that
know
used
what
to be
you
called
mean,
a
yeah.
bongo, but that was no, right. It's still something
Legal
called a bongo.
disclaimer.
It was.
Legal
Oh right, no,
disclaimer.
you want one of these? I had a packet of crisps yesterday,
Right.
and it was those crunch chips. No, you'll get this.
Okay.
So you know those crunch chips, the Polish crisps, and they got like they
Yes.
do like the chicken and wine flavour, and they're really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So Charlotte bought me a pack yesterday, and there was a word on the front that we were like, okay, that's obviously the Polish word for a thing.
Something.
So we look on the back, right, and it just says ruffled potato crisps with a chakalaka flavour. And I'm like, oh my god. That you can't say like that is the most stereotypical 1940s. Like, look at all these chakalakas. Like, we're like, oh my god. No, we looked it up. It's a South African dish just called chakalaka.
Oh wow! Okay.
Like, and it's almost like a spicy salady relish kind of thing.
It's
And
one
on
of those
crisps,
things.
it tastes a bit like Worcestershire sauce.
It's one of those things that sounds like something
And-
wrong. It's like your animal. If there was a place where they were native to, you could, in theory,
You could
call
go,
it
yeah.
Bongo Land.
Exactly.
And then somebody would be like, "Well, you
Bongo
can't
land,
say
where the
that."
bongos live.
Exactly. And it was like, oh my
there's
god.
two bongos, it's
Ch-
bongo,
with-
bongo.
But like, with it, like there was two ways of taking it through. Well, chakalaka flavour could be with the flavour of a dish called chakalaka.
Yeah.
which is what it is.
Which is what it
the
is.
other one is with the chakalaka flavour, as in like with a chock full of flavour.
Yeah.
The other one is just like a real racial slur of like, tastes like something those chakalakas would. I was like, good god. But no, apparently it's an
It sounds like
authentic
a
South
70s.
African.
It sounds like a 70s disco song.
And
Do
all-
the chakalaka.
Authentic, yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
but it's apparently an authentic South African dish and word. But it was just it
Yeah.
strikes you as
Walk the Dinosaur?
Walk the Dinosaur.
Yeah. I love Walk the Dinosaur. It always makes me think
I
of the
love
Super Mario
Funhouse.
Brothers movie, which that's an underrated film.
No, it
What one,
isn't.
sorry?
Yeah, it is.
No,
The Super
you
Mario
know what?
Brothers
No,
movie.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I will
yeah,
say
yeah.
this categorically now: the Super Mario Brothers movie is the rating it deserves.
Let's pretend that it's not about the Mario Brothers, and then you can
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
it on its own.
Okay,
merit.
that's
I'll say-
if that was the case, that would be fine. In a similar vein to the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes, I think that would be significantly better if it wasn't Sherlock Holmes. If
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
a Victorian detective,
Do you know what?
a bit like Sherlock Holmes, and they allude to him potentially being, but they never specifically say this is fucking Sherlock Holmes.
It would have been better as Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
Oh,
that sort of
my
thing. Yeah,
God.
exactly.
With,
I love
with
it.
Robert
But no, all
Downey
those
Jr.'s voice.
movies, you know what? I call those Arnie movies.
Okay.
They might not be good, but I dare you not to enjoy it.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I can totally take that bet on Super Mario Brothers.
No,
I cannot. As an adult, as a kid, I was like, oh, fucking sweet. They make references to all this stuff I remember from video games. Now, as an adult, I'm just like, oh god.
I still fondly remember going to see that with my dad because we couldn't get into Jurassic Park because it was sold out.
Wow.
So we watched Super Mario Brothers instead.
Wow.
And I loved it. Someone has done. There's a comic book sequel to that movie.
Yes, there is.
Do you know that? Oh,
there's
brilliant.
all sorts of tips.
Yeah, I mean, it's much like
I
like
will
say,
defend that movie.
like movies,
Okay.
movies
Good
like
for you.
movies
You-
like
You're the only one.
Well, at
movies
the
like
moment you don't have.
Clearly, I'm not because someone wrote the comic.
At the moment you're off.
It's
your
just
full,
me and him.
At the moment you're off from your full-time job, so you do have. It's good that you have the time because you will need it.
no, it's movies like that, and I always point to like with Arnie with things like Commando and
Yeah,
Conan. That when you watch the plot, it's very 2D. There's not a lot of good acting in
Sure.
those movies, but they're enjoyable, and that's what a movie does.
I
at the end
imagine
of the
that. I
day.
mean, I have a very limited understanding of Conan. I imagine that for a real die-hard Conan fan, there might be elements of that they're like, oh,
Yeah,
I
sure.
could,
Yeah, again,
I
I'm
could
not-
enjoy it more if it wasn't Conan. Like,
Yeah.
Totally are.
same.
Oh, totally. And again, they're not the greatest movies, even if away from the novels and comics. And
Sure.
that, but they're enjoyable. That you get a laugh out of them, and you watch them, and you watch.
Make me another
You
film
watch
where someone
Arnie
punches
punch
a
a
camel.
camel. Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm trying to think of one now.
camel punch of the movie.
Yeah. That sounds
There's
like
probably
some
some
weird.
kind
Yeah,
of.
it's another
It
racist
sounds like a
one.
sex move.
Sounds like a porn.
No, it sounds
Camel
racist.
punch.
Like,
I gave that bitch
so
a camel punch.
after I visited all the chakalakas, I visited the camel punchers.
Please, a legal disclaimer.
It's
As
like
far as
a-
we know, these are not genuine racial slurs.
There's somebody listening to this who's like, oh, everybody in my homeland uses like camel puncher as a horrible insult. This is terrible. Oh, now he's calling me a chakala.
I'm going to write to my attorney.
Legal disclaimer. Legal disclaimer. I haven't gone as far as to say all of our listeners are chakalacking camel punchers.
Until then.
I just said I hadn't.
But you might be.
I'm not saying you're
with
not.
the magic of editing.
All of art listeners are chaka-lakas.
I can just candidly say, as I've not gone on to say, create legal disclaimers. All the volunteers are channel.
If I had to ankle lock a single historic person, it would be Jesus Christ. An actual thinker.
I imagine it would be the kind of thing we would just, if I had to ankle lock anybody, it would be Jesus Christ. So, on the subject of sex moves, I got her permission to tell this story because I wasn't going to.
Is it my girlfriend?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
If you're asking my girlfriend's permission to tell sex stories, I'm honor bound to hurt you.
No. So the other day, I was with my girlfriend, and and we decided
to fuck.
So she decided to put on the radio to mask the noises. Now,
I
when you
thought
put
it like a sexy outfit.
No.
I'm BBC Two.
I'm Six Music, keep me free.
I'm Tony Blackburn. Oh wait, no.
Ken Bruce here. Sucking your dick.
I will be your partner.
I'm Radio 4.
What happens when it goes out of tune?
I like radio.
Do you get static on your penis?
My radio station of choice. Yeah.
Anyway. So she put the radio on. Now, if you put a CD on to mask the noises, you know exactly what you're going to get. With the radio, it is up to the DJ to make or break your session, as it were.
He probably knows.
Yeah. If I were a radio DJ, I'd expect people to be fucking.
Maybe, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
nobody else.
it'll throw him off.
It's literally, apart from like TalkSport, in which case you'd hope that the people are listening for the football results.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So one of my friends said to me once when I was on a dry spell, he was like, "Do you know there are probably like thousands of people fucking in the world right now?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "None of them are you." So you can't.
Yeah, these are facts.
Makes
What's your point?
Then he went, "Fuck my girlfriend."
Oh, we were the footballer.
Thanks, Redknapp.
So we put ourselves at the mercy of the radio to kind of guide us through this time. It did not go so well. The bit that broke us was we just heard, "Remember my name, fire! I wanna fly forever! Light up the sky like my Jesus!
Oh my God, it's on the curtains.
I once dared my mate to fuck his girlfriend to Overkill by Motorhead. And
Overkill?
Yeah, like he's like, "You've got to make it through the whole song," and he did.
Nice.
He came back and his girlfriend's like, "You owe him a pint now." To me, and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "We did it." I'm like, "Fucking hell!"
I dared somebody who wants to have a wank to 5 minutes alone. I didn't get through the whole song. It's kind of
I went out with a girl once who was a virgin before we had sex the first time, and she. Do you remember it was kind of a semi-nu metal death band called Kitty?
Yes.
Yeah. She wanted that to be playing for her first time.
Oh,
that was weird.
Couldn't get more fucking Tumblr than that.
I know.
I managed.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Sugar Coma. No, carry on.
No, that's what he did.
Sorry, dude, that's insensitive.
No, they were the
If I
band
fuck
that
you
had
to Kitty, you're getting to
They did a really
Coma.
shit cover of Crazy, like metal version.
Yeah.
They were awful.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You drive me crazy!
I'm trying to think of like the worst music. I don't think I've ever had a problem.
To fuck to.
Like a lot of music I listen to is either just like generic metal or
Yeah.
I used
to have to clarify that although I used the phrase "I lost my virginity to placebo," I mean that the music was on. I don't mean that placebo.
because that court case was awkward.
Yeah. I've got the worst one.
All right.
We were watching a film. We were watching Wedding Crashers. We were watching on DVD, right? And then because we were just like, eventually attention drifts. We hadn't been together that long, and so we were like making out, and then we had sex. And
bang times.
Towards the end of the film, it was so while we're getting out, most of the time we were just to the sound of the DVD menu over and over again.
Oh fuck!
And after a while, it was just driving me insane. But I didn't dare stop.
No, sure.
When I was a bit younger, sort of still living with my parents.
Can I just play that?
I just need to either play it or take it out.
Sorry, can I just put the special features on, please?
Yeah, anything.
I was going out with a girl when I was young. I was probably about 17-ish, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Still living with my parents and that, and I had a girlfriend, and I was like, "Oh, we're going to go and watch a movie," and like everybody knew what the fuck was going on, But it was like one day, my mum went, "Look, we knew you were having sex last night." I was like, Why?
Sorry, yeah.
She was like, that's a giveaway. And I worked it out, and it was because there was always we just put on a DVD, and I was always just like, play, whatever's in it. She was like, because that's the 6th time this month you've watched X-Men 2.
Yeah, there's no reason why you watch it 6 times a month. 6 times in a space of a couple of years, fine. But 6 times in a month is overkill, even for X-Men 2.
Yeah.
So X-Men 2 is
Good film, but yeah.
I can never again watch X-Men 2, you fucker.
Without thinking of my
I
Norm
would watch it be like,
slamming into some other
Somewhere
16-year-old piece
As long
of
as you
sleuth.
don't strike her.
BAM!
That is not Wolverine.
At least it weren't X-Men 3.
Oh god.
yeah.
Bang into fucking Blue Fraser.
If you've ever had sex with X-Men 3, right?
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
I'll bang straight through that wall.
Oh dear.
In the way, that was kind
X-Men
of
sexual puns, go.
X-Men 3 is actually kind of a sexual allegory because Vinnie Jones couldn't smash Ellen Page.
That's true.
We didn't know why then, but we know now. Well, we kind of knew why.
Is it because I was having sex to it?
That's it, yeah.
What is it with X-Men films?
Just make me horny, I like you, Jackman. You should have seen me at the movie premiere of Australia, which was weird because I was sat next to him.
First class!
Go fuck yourself. Okay, Hugh Jackman.
Wanker future past. Back in wanky day.
X-Men wanking the day.
So I got permission to tell 2 stories from her, but only one of them is a sexual one. So the other one is, we were on the train yesterday.
Not interested.
A normal train, not a crazy train. And she, obviously, we talked about in the last episode how we're going on holiday in a couple of months. So she bought some of those travel guidebooks. You know, the ones that like tell you where nice to eat and where...
Guide to Italy, guide to eating, guide to fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
Fucking
fuck
on
to
holiday.
flame. At least she's a maniac or something. So she's reading her travel book and she starts reading the Singapore Zoo, which we talked about in the last episode, is something she's interested in going to. And me as well, because they have white tigers. And like, she wants to go to Borneo for the orangutans. White tigers are my fucking orangutans. I love those fucking things.
White tigers are my orangutans.
For, like,
a
in
really
terms
weird prog band I was in once.
Sounds a bit like more like one of those post-rock,
Yeah.
post-emo type.
Shoegaze. Kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
All my,
White tigers are
what
my
would I say?
orangutans. Pet the orangutan, cage the tiger. Have you seen that thing that goes around on BuzzFeed of like the white tiger with Down syndrome or whatever?
Yeah. It's very like it's like
He hasn't got Down
in the
syndrome. He's just inbred.
Pet shop down
at
the
the same
road.
time, he's still cute.
Yeah.
The pet shop down the road,
Regardless of what he's
had
cute.
because animals can get Down syndrome. They had a bearded dragon that had Down syndrome, and I said, "Is he, all right?" And he was like, "Well, he's 8 years old.
Yeah.
He can eat, breed, and shit.
That's
What
it.
else does an animal need to do?"
Yeah.
Like Down syndrome doesn't tend to affect animals in any way
Right.
because they're not going to learn to drive a car or do maths.
No, sure.
So they don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
So a
Horses
tiger with
can-
Down syndrome is just a weird.
Horses count sometimes, don't they?
Oh, we teach them to.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
But they might not be counting. They might just be reciting things.
They're just doing what they're
They've
doing.
learned about
Horses are
behaviour,
obedient, not industrious. They're not like...
Lizards can have Down syndrome and scare the shit out of Rob. So it's all right.
Yeah, too right, yeah. At least they get,
Are you saying you're afraid of? Never mind. Let's not go there.
What's up? I have Downs.
legal disturb... Oh, never mind. So,
Rob's not afraid of lizards with Down syndrome.
yeah, just lizards when you hold them an inch from my face and surprise me with them. Which you're all there for now I think about it. Crouch
Yeah.
wasn't there for that, was he?
No, was that?
That was
That was
Yeah,
21st.
Yeah.
With the banana jousting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a euphemism, but it's really actually
It really was
literally just
jousting
jousting
with
real
bananas.
bananas.
That was epic.
So yeah, so she's reading this travel book, and I heard this voice from her that I've never heard before, and I can only describe it as Jenny's excitable nerd voice. Because she's reading the book, and I do the best approximation I can, because obviously there's a little bit of a difference in the pitch of our voices. But she's reading, and she just goes, "Oh, so they got that's really nice. Oh, a biodome." It's doubly exciting. It's doubly amusing to me because she knows her science, and she's into her geeky stuff outside of work and things like that. She, comics
And beyond comic books and that as well. She's into
like
that style of thing.
Yeah,
I can imagine she'd read New
That was
Scientist
the first
with
time I'd
interest.
ever hear her say anything like
You
that.
heard her
in a voice.
shoulders like up.
Exactly, yeah. Her inner shoulders. But
That's good.
yeah, I thought that was funny.
I'm just tittering about that to myself now still.
Yeah, there's always like There's things like that still get like we've done the you're a nerd, you're a whatever thing like
but
like it's like to me
I've got
there's a really good friend of mine is really into like trains.
Okay.
So
yeah.
But he usually listens, right? He normally listens. But the thing is, shout out, cool guy. He was I can't remember, it wasn't that somebody was like mocking him for it once. Then I was like, isn't that a bit sad? And I was like, look. That guy almost weekly goes out, spends money, meets with mates, and partakes in his chosen hobby.
Yeah.
Do I do that? No. Do a lot of people get to weekly do something they enjoy and meet up with a group of different friends every time? People that he might have met on Twitter once, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to get together at this station because this train's pulling in?" That's cool. Like, if you're into anything, just be into it. Like, and I think that's awesome. Like, people like, and the same with things like, oh, Biodome. They're like, if that's your shit, awesome.
Yeah,
like, there are some things that you can't get other people interested in, but if you enjoy them, that's great. I think it's awesome. Takes all walks of life.
Yeah, different stories to move the world.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's good to be interested. To me, I
always just caught fire.
Because there's a real one, never mind. I'm pretty sure trains came before books.
Alright,
trains.
I've got to get the book in time.
I'm all for people who are into things that actually further themselves.
I think
being into trains or being into computer games and that is one thing, and that's cool. But if you're into learning about biodiversity and stuff like that, and something that can help humankind, that's awesome. Like,
great.
And just learning about anything. It's like the reason that I love like reading about history and that, because I'm always just learning more and more about the humankind and And just expanding yourself, making yourself better constantly is great.
Me personally, I'm just like, if you're into something, that's fucking great. No matter what. Like,
because there's so many people, like, you look at people like our parents kind of age.
Yeah.
So many people that just work their 9 to 5 and then go home and watch the TV and that's their day done.
Yeah.
They have no interest. Like, even like my parents, like, but my mum used to really enjoy reading Catherine Cookson books and like that kind of period. And my dad used to love playing his darts, and that was their thing.
Yeah.
Like, they had something. But there's so many people that just do their 9 to 5 and go home, and that's it's a little sad. What's the point of existing? They're going to enjoy their life.
If that fulfills them, then
if that's fulfilling,
I'm sorry, Omer, I'm a boring person. I like playing video games on my own.
But that's your thing. You like your computer games, and that's your thing.
I appreciate loneliness.
You could say that your computer games are your hobby. Like, you work to fund your hobbies and your interests and your lifestyle. And that's awesome. But you get people whose money just pays them to sit on their ass. And they just amount money and buy,
So this is part of the reason, like, but just before Christmas, I worked the 2 days before Christmas Eve and then took Christmas Eve off onwards. So, which turns out, like, is really actually good fun because the atmosphere around the office is so relaxed and people are doing work and stuff and they're doing things that are useful, but it ramps down so much.
Yeah, it's the opposite of being a retail where it's the highest pressure time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
everybody's like,
your high pressure is the other fucking 51 weeks, for me. Exactly. And it's like when you come to the last week of the year, you're just like, and relax.
I would say it's like being in the rain but being under something so you're not getting wet. It's cool to like be in part of the atmosphere, but no, it's a bit different to normal.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not under the stress of it.
And in those 2 days, I probably spent more on lunch than I ever have in a month before that. But sometimes you have to do something like that to remind yourself why you work.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to. It's not just everybody works to live, right? They work to make money to do what they want to do, whether it be pay for they need a roof over their heads, they need food, they need drink, they need sustenance. All of those things are funded by work. If you're doing that stuff, that's great, and that's most of the time that will be sometimes that'll be all you can do. Because if you don't make enough money to be like a fucking rich guy who goes to a casino and throws loads of money down on the roulette tables, then fair enough, that's not your life. No. But at the same time, you're doing you're working to do whatever is important to you. Sometimes you need to do something to go, fuck it, this is why I do this stuff. Let's have some fun.
Let's throw a few quid away. And it's usually money. Usually it's money away. Throw a few quid away.
Mine's like, take a trip to the casino with an amount of money in my hand that I'm prepared to walk away without.
Yeah.
And if I come away with more, brilliant. If I come away with some of that left, also great. Either way, I've had fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have some drinks.
Perfect example, I was talking to is 2p machines. You ever been to a 2p machine and come back with a profit? Fuck no. You enjoy the game.
I don't micromanage my 2p machines.
No, but no, that's what I mean. Like, you're never going to come away with more 2p's than you went in with. Like, you could spend a fiver and get a rubber worth 50p.
Yeah.
Like, but you paid for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly that whole. Do you know? There's the 2p machines are a really good allegory for working and life.
Yeah.
You're always going to put in more than you get out. You feel.
Yeah.
But as long as you enjoy it as it
Everything
goes
just
on,
goes slowly forward. And
slowly forward and slowly back.
And occasionally the thing you want just drops off the edge, and you're just like, oh, could it be? Could it be?
Yeah, and I'm going to take that as an allegory for life.
Okay.
You just slowly get some enjoyment out of it.
I can't lie.
And as long as that's cool, and as long as you get what you want at the
You
end
grind
of it.
out your enjoyment with small amounts of money.
Yeah, eventually you
not
run
really-
out of things to put in, but as long as you enjoyed the game, that's it, done.
That's an awful way to look at life.
It's weird,
Well,
isn't it?
eventually you run out of
I
things
think
to put in.
So, like, I think I've talked about it
2P
before.
machines will kill you.
I talked about it before where I
Legal
had
disclaimers, 2P machines won't kill you.
And it brings us to the conclusion, fuck Margate.
I think did I talk about the Jehovah's Witnesses visiting me in my shop?
What? That's
So, you know, they make
Oh,
house
no,
calls.
you haven't told that story on the
So,
air.
I'm not going to go into...
Please be careful.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. Essentially, Jehovah's Witnesses, they bring their faith to your door and talk to you about it, that's fine. But they've come in to visit me in my business, which I don't appreciate because I'm trying to get on with work. But I've given them the time of day and talked to them, and I'm not going to be there, like, diffusing their points.
11:39 now, fuck off.
Yeah. I'm not going to stand there trying to, like, make them not believe in their faith anymore. But when they say something like, look, we believe this and this, and I'll go, oh, actually, I don't believe that. And I'll talk to them about my belief.
So when you said anymore, do you mean I'm not going to make them believe? I'm going to stop telling them?
Stop telling them, yeah.
Any more than I already do.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
I've had a big go at it. That's the thing.
Just having a go at bigjoeys.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's similar sort of that kind of. They were saying to me like what they believe about the afterlife and that, and they were saying how, and I was like, they said to me, "Do you not believe in an afterlife?" I was like, "No." And they said, "Isn't that really depressing?" I said, "No, it just means I'm going to take advantage of what I've got now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait for, and if there is an afterlife, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to wait for the promise of God and not God in particular. I made that sound really silly. I'm not going to wait for the promise of some kind of eternal reward and not have fun now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because I don't believe in one, and I think that means when we go, we go. So enjoy what you got now.
And if something is, if there is something beyond this physical realm, worst case scenario, you've had fun getting there.
Yeah.
And then from there,
And then eternal damnation.
That's a stupid argument, though. Like, they said, you say, I don't believe in afterlife, and they go, oh, isn't that really depressing? I'm like, well, that doesn't make it any less true. It's like, well, I've run out of money, that's really depressing. I'll just believe that I've got some more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You can't...
Can't you just get a better...
You can't just choose to believe something
That's
because
the
you
thing,
don't like the thing that's on.
Can't you just go to the job tree and get a better one?
Exactly.
The thing that I got really annoyed with actually is that it's the third time they've come to speak to me this Friday just passed. And each time I've had a nice philosophical debate with them, and not even a debate, a conversation. Mm-hmm. And one of the things he said, for instance, and one of my kind of strongest beliefs in, he said that there's two truths about God. There's either he does exist or he doesn't. Right. And I said no. There's every grey area in between that. Because for instance, the example I used is a 4-year-old boy believes Father Christmas is real. Right. He has every bit of evidence because he has presence that they're real. All the grown-ups around him are telling him that they're real. Yeah. So to him, he is real until he doesn't believe anymore. Right. What makes that different to anything else? And I'm not going to get into that point. What I'm saying is, I told them that last time. Right. Yeah. And he came in this time and he told me something, and he went, "Look, there's two truths about God. Either he's real or he's not." I said, I don't believe that. And he looked at me blankly. And I was like, if you're going to come and preach to me and you're going to talk to me about your faith, and you want to come and have a debate with me.
Save the documents.
Yeah, that's exactly. But this is the thing. I'm not stupid, right? Okay. A lot of my family.
If you say so, mate.
A lot of my family are involved with.
I mean, worst case scenario, you're not. You are, but you're aggressive with it. So whatever. Whatever.
A lot of my family are involved with the Kingdom Halls and that. They're Jehovah's Witnesses, right? So these people that aren't my family, they certainly know who I am. They know my relations are in that church with them.
Well, also they've seen the bootleg of you and Jimmy Snooker. So.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I know what they're doing.
This is proof of God's existence. Look at this.
They come
a 6-man tag.
It's a proof of God and the proof there's no more reference.
They come to somebody like... the whole reason they talk to people is they believe they're saving you. Right? Okay. They believe that their God tells them to convert people to their faith to save them from...
damnation.
They don't really have a damnation, but to get them granted... They don't. No, apparently they believe when you die, if you don't go to heaven, you just... die. Done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they believe very much the same way in
really
atheists. Well, they believe that apparently to them, and I only learnt this the other day when I was talking to them, this is why I'll give them the time of day and listen. They believe in, basically it's like an eternal sleep. Because that's what happened to Jesus, and God brought him back up out of the earth. Right. So that's what happens.
It's just like, don't think you're getting off that fucking easy.
Yeah, there's no fiery hell. There is heaven or nothing.
There's death or heaven.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Anyway.
Permadeath. Or you respawn in heaven.
Have you seen Bad Taste?
Demon Souls. What?
Have you seen Bad Taste? Peter Jackson's first
No.
film.
Yeah.
And there's sadly, we are leaving this planet with 6 of our co-workers in a state of permanent death. I love that line.
But yeah, that's what. So I know they're coming to talk to me.
Yeah.
I know they're coming to talk to me because, like every faith, there's money involved, right? And they want me as
And
part
obviously
of
you
their
touch
church.
a lot of money.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's,
They want me as part of their church. I don't know. Maybe I'm a good recruit because I have a good philosophical arguing. You know.
Well, they want your
You can
tinfoil. They
recruit
want
the
access.
bike riding populace of Sheffield.
Yeah, exactly. They want to convert me to their faith for whatever reason. They want me inside of their
They
church.
want access to your tinfoil supply,
Right.
dudes, and then
Yeah.
you've got a ton of it.
But that's the thing, is they're going to talk to you. They're trying to convert me or recruit me or whatever you want to call it. But the thing is, you can't bother me into your faith. Maybe one day, someone who...
Shove.
Yeah.
All right,
Go on, believe in God, believe in God. You like...
All right.
poking you with a stick.
I know that what they think they're
All
doing
right,
is
Father,
like...
Son, Holy Spirit, go.
And normally, that's fine. But don't do it in a business.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm pretty sure...
That is annoying, yeah.
I am pretty sure Jesus had a problem with people trading in a temple.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you
That's
believe
because
in
they
the...
won't be actually
Business and
registered.
religion should
Yeah.
be separate, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
you can
sure
play- you can
Jesus
play in my
himself
business.
threw a fucking fit in a temple because there were people trading in it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'd be equally pissed with people walking into a business and trying to set up a temple.
Right.
Like, I think, you know, you can say, oh, you keep God in your
It means
everyday
you have
life.
to be VIT registered, you fucking idiots.
But I was just like, is that the new kind of strategy that they're coming into shops? Because what I see it is as a conversion or as a recruitment
Because you can't go anywhere.
I can't tell them to leave.
They could just walk into your shop, and you also can't just like run out the back.
No,
and
I
hide
can't
and
just
pretend
keep the
you're
door
You
shut.
can't pretend you're not in. Without
So what I do
closing the
is
shop.
talk.
Personally, I just love the
The,
idea of Jesus being done for tax evasion.
No, somehow his bill ended up on my fucking door.
Yeah. Oh,
As is always the way.
I have to put him in kind of tax-related ankle lock now.
You know who I'd fiscally like to ankle?
I don't know how we got around to that.
Jesus
I
Christ!
think it was just... But yeah, just don't bring Jehovah's Witnesses in.
It's it's different for like politicians when they come in because obviously they do things as a
That
politician that affect
And
local
also-
businesses.
I've had
So,
politicians
business
who
stuff.
come in
Yeah.
when I'm serving a customer, will wait or just go, I'll be back, I'll leave you a flyer.
Yeah, fine.
That's cool.
Yeah.
These guys will come in, wait
hang
till I
on,
finish
Popeye.
with a customer,
Not
talk to me,
literally.
and then when a customer comes in, they won't go, well, we better leave you to it. They'll wait until I've served the customer and keep talking to me. I'm like, any time when you've got a large group of suited people in a shop, drives customers away.
So I better not come and visit you in the store. 'Cause
Yeah.
That would have been exactly what I'd do, is just stand there,
I
wait for
can
the
only-
customer to leave and then just carry on talking.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for a bike shop, we do get how can I put this without? I'm not incriminating myself in any way. So bikes don't have number plates and are not traceable.
Yes.
So they're a very, very good form of transport for
The undesirables.
Yeah. All I do is fix them. Like if somebody brings me something to fix it, if they pay me the cash and I fix the bike, it's done.
And supply to undesirable.
Yeah. I also sell.
Hey, it's their money, I think.
Legal disclaimer: I do not sell drugs.
Yeah. It's their money, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is like if you've got a group of suits in your shop.
Yeah.
That guy who might be giving me $10.50 is not going to come in because he's got a shitload of coke in his pocket. And he doesn't know who they are. Exactly. Like, so you're taking my business away. Like, I don't care what you do outside. I'll take your money.
It reminded me of something really cool. You know, in the 80s in Glasgow, there was gangs of people who dealt drugs out of ice cream vans.
Yes, I was reading that yesterday.
Yeah. It's like an actual documented thing in Glasgow in the 80s called the Ice Cream Wars.
Wow.
It was like 2 rival gangs who all distributed their drugs out of ice cream vans, firebombing each
'Cause
other's ice
basically,
cream vans.
the thing
And
is-
apparently a load of innocent ice cream men got caught in the crossfire and got burnt to death in
Six
their vans.
non-gangland
Choose a side!
Six kind of non-gangland
you.
ice cream men got killed in it.
Clan
'Cause it's
feast
perfect.
and clan
Think
movie.
about it. If you just see an ice cream van
Yeah.
at about 9, 10 o'clock at night passing through a neighbourhood, just going home.
Yeah.
No, he's trading.
Why isn't that a film? That's what I want to say.
The
Why
ice
is that
cream
not yet a
It's
film?
probably been something somewhere.
I would watch that.
Ice cream, selling it out of vans and there's drugs.
The thing that bugs me though is that you're quite right. These guys are taking your business away, illicit or otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, no, not taking it away. They're not driving it to a different bike shop run by
No,
Jehovah's
but
Witnesses.
it sums
They're
up.
driving it away.
Not being overtly offensive to the island, but it's quite obvious that it's Sheppy because you said they've been seeing you in so many weeks
Yeah.
that they've obviously got nowhere else to bloody go.
Nobody else will
because
have
they've been everywhere in the island in that week and they've gone back to square one.
Can't get off the
It is
bridge.
my own fault
Yeah.
for being a bit too nice to them and giving them
Yeah.
the time of day. When I
Exactly.
should have just gone, look, I'm trying to run a business here.
But basically-
Leave me a pamphlet and go
That's
away.
the only thing they've noted about you is just he'll talk to us, so they go
Yeah.
back.
But then that's no bad thing, dude. That like if you're this is the thing I'll say about any fucking person, whatever their belief system. If you're just a shitty human being to another another shitty human being. I've got no fucking time for you.
No.
Like,
I think these guys are okay.
Yeah.
Like, they
I'm
seem
sure they're
like nice
friendly.
people.
If I was to, like, you know those charity workers who in the street, right? If I walk past one and they're just like, oh, you know, do you have a minute to talk about so and so, like, you know, the tsunamis or natural disasters or, you know,
Clever animals, anything.
yeah, that's
the whole lot.
I'll just be like, look, sorry, not today. And if they're fine with that, then walk on. Then you know, I'm just going to acknowledge them and politely decline. And that's what I'm going to do. If they were to then be snarky with me for some reason, I would turn around and give them a fucking piece of my mind in the middle of London.
I almost did that.
Charlotte had to. She was in, I think it was Gillingham High Street. Yeah. And one of them was following her so much. She's, you know, a young girl on her own. She had to actually duck into like New Look and ask to stand behind the counter because they were following her.
Wow.
She actually, and I think because they're part of an agency, and then something like the NSPCC or whatever will hire them out.
And they get paid, like...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're part of an agency to do this work.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if we had a charity, we go, okay, we'll contact them because we want 5 people in Gillingham High Street.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was for. I want to say it was like Macmillan or someone like that.
Okay.
Because she wrote to them saying, look, you know, I don't know about the agent, but I'd contact you. It was this person's name because he told me, etc., etc. And
too much.
They apologised profusely, and like obviously they're a charity, but I mean you can imagine if it was a business, they would have offered some kind of financial.
Well, it doesn't do them any favours.
Exactly, because
no, exactly.
You know,
you associate that with
that exact behaviour again. But the next
yeah.
week she was in Gillingham High Street again. The same guy was working there and started sneering at her. So she went up and gave him a mouthful. She was like, look, last week you scared me so much I had to go blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Week after that, he wasn't on that. So whether he got fired or he wasn't there.
Right, he just got moved away somewhere else.
Maybe
yeah,
so.
like,
But that's not cool. Like, you're trying to raise money for a charitable event and you're scaring young girls. Like,
If you
I had that because obviously I work in Gillingham and I was going through it, and I always get caught by one whenever I'm doing that. But I'm always on my lunch break, so I'm like, no, sorry, I'm working. I'm like, but one was kept going, like, every nice excuse I came up with, going, oh, that's all right. It goes to show how, you know, you're working. Obviously, show you have money to give us. And I was going like, and I went, oh, I work for a charity, and I know could I say, like, you know, and they're going, oh no, it just shows how charitable you are. And I felt like going, look, I've used all my nice excuses now, just fuck off.
Yeah, there's only so
I tried to be nice.
I think that might be a very British thing as well.
There's a threshold.
That we don't just go, not interested.
Some people
just go, sorry, I'm in a hurry. I haven't started to.
Oh no, now I just don't even dignify them with an answer. They'll come up with me. No, I don't even have headphones. I'm just walking past.
I've genuinely had this happen on the streets of London, right? So I'll be walking to work, and sometimes I'll go, I can't take the bus or something, or it's like sunny day, and I've got time, so I'll walk along like Buckingham Palace, Long Green Park, past Piccadilly, and all that. So as I'm walking along, I remember very vividly, completely the contrast to the other story I told about somebody at the side of the road in Brighton.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like, give us your money. I haven't got any. Cunt. By complete contrast, this guy's like, can you spare any change? And I said, sorry mate, I got nothing. And I genuinely didn't. It wasn't like one of those things where I'm just like, jingle, jingle. Because I have actually, without realising it, done that before. As I've been walking past somebody, I'm just like, sorry, I've got nothing. I'm just walking past and I'm just jingling change in my pocket. It's fuck all, they wouldn't have wanted it. But... I suppose
they beg
you. Anyway. So as I walked past, I was like, sorry mate, I haven't got any. And he just went, oh, thank God, somebody fucking talked to me. Like, because some people just walk straight past. And sometimes I'm guilty of that too, right? Yeah. But just the advice I would give to anybody is just, if you see somebody at the side, if somebody engages you in conversation, it's really fucking rude not to engage them back, even if it's just not to tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Like, if you see somebody at the side of the road, and they're just like, you know, can you spare any change? It's like, sorry, I haven't got any. If it's a busker, they're not expecting to interact. They're not interacting with you in that respect.
No,
but if you chuck something in, I do. It's nice when they go like, dun 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 dun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
the statue that will bow.
Yeah,
you know, that kind of thing.
I don't expect the buskers to do that out of just as an aside, because obviously they're in the middle of a song. So if they do disrupt it, to just be like, thank you, fuck, where was I? Then I might ruin the rest of their income for the day.
Yeah.
Oh well, when BCC used to busk, it used to be if someone gave us money in the middle of a song, it'd be whoever's not singing at the time would say thank you. Like it'd be being free of us.
I never actually managed. One of my regrets for BCC is that I never actually managed to busk because busking.
I could have done with more money.
No, to me, busking when you're not actually requiring that for your income sounds quite fun.
It's the most.
I might be wrong. I've never done.
No, it was
the most direct form of money.
It's just you know, playing for a bit, having the day out, and because we don't need the money from the busking.
It's very tiring.
I can imagine.
Plus, like I said,
but I could imagine me singing. Certainly the way when I come in a band, I could imagine it would start working things into the lyrics.
Yeah.
So I want your money and thank you for that. Like I can imagine me working it in. We did that when we did a charity gig where we did. What's the money song? Money by.
Our Price Tag.
Yeah, Price Tag by
Jessie J.
Jessie J. We did that, and the end of the song is like,
you said it is about the money.
Yeah, no, we were collecting for charity, we were collecting for cancer charity, so I was like, it's all about your money, 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 please give us all your money, 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 just put it in this
That's a bit of fun. That's a bit of
we
fun.
are collecting for cancer.
That's a bit of fun. Like,
yeah, exactly, yeah, it was really good fun.
Anyway, so just going to round off on one little thing. Spike,
Yeah!
you're writing a novel.
I am. I'm going to tell you all about it now. I'm going to
Go
go
on.
with my
Go
tale of
yourself.
my novel.
Bitch.
I have set myself the challenge of writing a 50,000 word novel in 30 days.
That's more than a word a day.
Yeah, it is more than I can tell you exactly, it's...
This is like the worst press release ever.
How much is it?
The kind
Where can I buy it from?
The kind with interrupting heckling. Yes, that's a pretty shoddy press release.
It's 1,000...
Do we get a set of steak knives when we order?
You'll get a steak knife in a minute.
Not through the heart.
Well, what it is, right, it's actually, there's a thing called National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo, which happens in November.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, if you may be familiar with it, you should check it out if you don't know about it. But I wanted to do it. My sister did it, in fact.
I wanted to
but
do it
I
as
did.
well.
I know. I was just starting my new job, so it wasn't really a good time. But
I
now
was-
I've got months off.
Yeah.
I'm decided to use them in this productive way. I've got about 1,667 words per day in order to make it.
I was doing Repo Poye, which is regional podcast publishing year. So I couldn't partake in
I was
anything else with
doing
acronyms.
Ho Po Fo Yo, which is a type of Chinese dish.
Yep.
I was going to say, it sounds like South Vietnamese. Like,
Okay.
whoa, po, Big Mac.
Chakalaka flavour.
Well, basically, the idea of it is, if you're kind of a frustrated creative person, which I am, I've always kind of liked the idea of being able to write something.
5 minutes alone.
But I've never ever been able to finish writing the thing, not having
Yeah.
a wank. Shut up.
Never been able to finish.
But,
You won't be able to finish if I keep interrupting.
which
That
is
explains why your balls are massive.
One day you'll finish.
Not that I'm
and it'll
looking.
be, oh!
Not that I'm looking.
This is how it feels when I try and write. I keep it. My
Just got us behind you.
my inner editor keeps interrupting me.
You're in a crazy train, keeps interrupting you.
Yeah.
Heckling.
I bought this book called No Plot, No Problem, which is by the guy who started National Novel Writing Month. Very funny book.
Okay.
And it's exactly 50,000 words long, so it gives me a good idea of what
So
I'm about
he
to
did it.
write. Yeah, but it's like a guide on how to set yourself this challenge and how to see it through.
That's
and
cool.
it's like because basically the emphasis is very much on quantity over quality. The whole point is don't worry if it's shit. Just
Get it
write
done.
it. And
Get it
Once
down,
you've done it, you'll
then
break
you
the
can-
seal.
I've started just.
Yeah,
I'm
and then you
basically
can start to refine it as you go along.
I've started writing. I had a vague idea when I started, but I'm basically just making it up as I go along and not worrying about whether it's shit. So I'm like, I haven't thrown anything truly ridiculous in there yet, but at the moment, it's basically, it started off with a chapter about Robert Johnson, the blues player, and Son House, who's another slightly more obscure blues magician. But you know how Robert Johnson allegedly sold his soul to the devil?
Right.
In my book, he really did.
Oh,
Okay.
And he's more than that. He's possessed by a demon,
Nice.
and he's like harvesting the souls of like innocent people and so
Wow.
on. So Son House, who used to be a preacher in real life before he gave up religion and became a musician, he's like puts back on his dog collar and goes out to take down this demonic possessed thing. And the first chapter is them sort of having their first face off. But then after that, I was like, I don't really know where else to go with this.
Well, you have kind of
Time travel. So now I've so now I've got a bit. Now I've got a bit with that.
Basically,
I've
you've
got
done the
Chris
Doctor
Brown
Who
in.
route.
Yes, I'm just gonna. That's it. We'll put anything in there. Oh, that's it. Because I did a bit in the modern day where it's like a overproduced pop star is possessed by the same demon. And
Nice.
eventually, in the future, takes over the world. So
Please let him possess Chris
through
Brown.
media.
that's it. I'm going to change it because originally it was Psy, Game
Oh,
of
yeah.
Thrones.
Oh,
because then it jumps into the far future in Pyongyang, which is where my main characters pop up. They're from the modern day, my two main characters, and they get sucked into a time warp, and they wake up in Pyongyang in 2066, and it's deserted. There's no one there. Everyone's disappeared, and the world has been taken over by this demon. And it's now going to be Chris Brown, not Psy. I've decided. Because
to be clear,
he's more suited to being a villain, I think.
So I think you have to give me and Crouch 10% for that.
I'll give.
Because between us, that was our preference.
I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's all sorts of.
I really like that. I like the idea that there we go. There's always somebody doing something. That's what
Yeah,
I'm on about, like.
I'll let you know how I get on because I've got.
Yeah, but he's got like the slave Bronte sisters.
Get writing, bitch.
I do like a sort of post-mortem thing on the E14, like a thing of just like what was good about that approach and what was bad about that approach.
I would say I published the book, but no one is ever going to see this draft of it because it's going to be
totally.
It's dog shit.
But there are so many.
But at the same time, I'm sure I've read worse.
I'm enjoying it a hell of a lot.
Thanks to like Kindle out now, there are so many self-published books. Like, and they get noticed and they get pulled. It's the same with everything. Like, I was playing a game with Brad once. It's a board game kind of thing on firefighting. Okay. Like you have to put out the buildings. Can't remember what it's called. You play with.
Cool.
But it basically Into the Fire. But it was really, really good, and it was a free download online. Yeah. But eventually, so they left the download up for a little while. But a publisher has bought that. Yeah. And it's now going to be produced properly. That's awesome. Yeah, there was just some guy's little hobby in his room that he made.
But Spike, it cannot be worse, and I'm hoping, because I've not read it, but it can't be worse than Sold to the Dragon.
No, you can't get it.
Oh, no, so apparently there's a trend now.
Actually, but I haven't brought
There's men ones,
yes, there's a trend now of basically dinosaurs fucking blokes.
Yeah.
And where it used to be all kind of female fiction, now it's male dinosaurs, I guess, having gay sex with male men.
Dear Internet, this is what the face of true equality looks like. Are you happy now?
Look what you've done!
On that note, I think it's probably time to wrap up on that bombshell. Okay. So if you've enjoyed first. So thank you for the cast with me, Spike Direction. You're almost crouched.
I'm not crouched.
No, I'm
not crouched.
I'm sorry. Spike Direction.
I'm not crouched.
I'm Ibrahim.
A row of penises on my back like a stegosaurus.
Blake Armour.
I can't follow that.
You don't do things on Twitter. That's not how Twitter works.
Exactly.
I'm not following that.
I'm not following that.
Not because I can't, just out of choice.
I'm not following that would be a great thing.
Yeah, that would be good, yeah.
People just, hey, could you follow this? I'm not following
it. It's probably too long, like Fluffy McGraw.
Yeah, maybe. So if you've enjoyed the show, which is what I was coming to, you can subscribe and share and review on iTunes. You can find us on emotionally14.com. There's an email address on there as well if you want to send in questions for the podcast, this and the Gamecast. You can find us on Facebook at emotionally14. You can search for us on there. You can either use the letters or the numbers, and it should work for both. Cool.
That's the future.
Yeah, I know, right? But if you type into the URL, it will definitely work with the numbers.
Ask Oral Korg. It's a character from the Star Wars books. I just realised that's why I said it.
You can find us on Twitter at emotionally14. Stop it! You sound like Buffalo Bill. It's weird. You're a great big fat person. You can find me on Twitter at Rob Wade Vision. You can find Omer at the Iron Turk Omer. You can find Spike at Big Beat 1985. You can't find Blake on Twitter because they won't let him have at Fluffy McRorrington, which you wouldn't follow anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's it, isn't it? You can go to the website, you can go to the Facebook. Yep. YouTube. There's youtube.com/emotionally14. There's going to be, if there's not already there by now, there's going to be some best of clips from the Crazy Train, as well as some bits and bobs. So look forward to that.
No train, no problem. Saw that and went, train.